I just do my fan for everything now. It's like, ooh, lovely, lovely wind. Anyway, hello, castaways, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. God, that's not going to be great for this episode. Anyway, I'm drinking water. Hydration is always incredibly important. But if I was drinking anything else, obviously it would be out of a cup mug. Hello.
Cup mug. I cannot.
Cup mug.
You spilled some on me.
Oh no.
Cup mug.
Cup mug. And you can get your official cup merch, including but not limited to cup mug, at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link in the description below. And we do ship both domestically and internationally, so there are no excuses. And today I'm looking at you, Dom. No, I'm kidding.
No, I have to order one. I was just thinking about that. I have to order one.
Shipping is very cheap.
Yes,
it is. And I think it distributes out of New Jersey, actually.
I can just go drive and pick it up.
Yeah. Right?
Hi, I am Esme. I did not change my thing, but sabotage based on how sabotage.
Based on how the tribe swaps went.
Yeah, sabotage. Swap sabotage. And I'm back. I'm excited to talk about Survivor.
Yay. And I am Domenick. So I think hopefully I've been on this enough that people have heard my spiel about being a cat dad and a Survivor fan, and there's really not much else more to me. So yeah, I'm happy to be here discussing Survivor 45.
Woo! Yes. Episode 4, Survivor 45. What is already turning out to be, I'm going to say, a great season.
Yes, definitely. I think the 90-minute episodes, are such a game changer. And I was talking to a friend about this. I was like, I don't necessarily think that all the extra scenes are necessarily even the most entertaining scenes of all, but it just adds so much more context to see stuff. And I think sometimes this would never have made it in the normal episode. And it's so refreshing to just see people interacting and have a better understanding of how all these people and players are fitting together, because there are so many relationships that come in episode 10, like, oh, Erica and Heather are an unbreakable pair. It's like,
exactly. What?
Couldn't you have told us that before? I feel like we have a really good understanding of all these different dynamics. Even like Kendra and Jake, I know last episode got a scene together where they explored that dynamic. I'm like, maybe that will come up, and it will be nice that we have some context to it in the future.
Mm.
Definitely.
And there's some stuff I will get into this episode that I think we can talk about that I feel alludes to the same thing that you just brought up.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But we start this episode, Sabai is gone. I'm still really sad about it.
Couldn't something that happened this episode happen the episode before, so she could have still been here?
In episode 2 or episode 3, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
God. Episode 3 especially, in my
Episode 2 especially, in my opinion, because that's my friend.
I know. There's so many people who are friends with him, and I know he has amazing support as well.
I would have been fine either way, though. Let me make it very clear. I love Sabaya. I'm very upset that she walked out. I mean, it was a little bit of her doing.
Yeah.
It was quite actually all her doing. So, it is what it is.
That's how the game should be played, though. I mean, put it all out there, and if it blows up in your face, at least you went out being iconic.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
Hi.
The late addition to our tribe swap.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were on the black tribe, obviously, because we're wearing black, and you are from the blue tribe.
No, I'm wearing black. My hair is black. God damn it. Okay.
Well, Jack. Well, actually, Jack. Funny story. I don't think you're the only late addition.
Huh.
Perhaps, maybe, and possibly. Because there's another late addition.
I made it. Oh, I made it.
Well, we didn't make it that far in the episode, so I guess we'll just go around with intros part 2, minus everybody else.
Oh, well, Me? We're starting with me. No,
Of
hello.
course.
Thanks. Hello, everybody. I am Lana, your resident diva. I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking water because it's sitting right here, and I'm gonna drink it this time. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking it out of my cup mug.
I already did it.
Oh.
Don't worry.
I know you did, but we ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses.
I
Period.
said that too.
Well, I felt the need to say it. And I got the hat memo, Dom, so period. I'm just saying. Everybody else didn't get it. They didn't get the memo. I got it. Logan got it.
And I'm
I can
normally
make this
wearing
work.
one that's
I can make this work. I can make this work.
Not that.
Esme, are you gonna turn your cup mug into a hat?
No,
Oh god, this is chaos.
it's already chaos. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Oh, don't be. I love it. And
Mhm.
Hi, my name is Jack. I was late because for the first time in a while. Okay.
Should we just start this over?
no, I want to keep that.
I don't know if Esme wants to keep it.
No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it. Oh god.
Wow. Okay.
I was late because for the first time in literally 2 years, I decided to play a Survivor org, and my brain hurts, and I haven't slept well.
Yay.
This is why I don't wear hats.
You didn't have to.
You didn't have to. Literally, I only had a hat on because it was cold outside and I was working outside. Y'all know I don't wear hats.
Is that going in the intro? Maybe.
Definitely.
I think so. Anyway, we were literally just talking about Sabaya going home, and we're all sad about it.
I'm very disgusted about it. I hate it so much. I wasn't here last week to talk about it.
Neither.
And
Me either.
was I here last week? I think I was here last week. Never mind, I was here. I was here. Yeah, you weren't here. I was here, and we talked about how sad we were that this actually played out. But now we have to live with the aftermath because Sean now is like, oh my God, I am at the bottom, and he did way too much, in my opinion, coming back to the camp. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, y'all did so good. Oh my god, the move was so good. Sabaya was really running this camp. So, like, it's so good. Oh my god, props to you. You could have let me in on the plan.
I would have never told her.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's you.
Seriously, it's you, Sean. I was like, really, bring it down. First of all, your voice is way too high for
Yeah.
anybody to believe you because that's
What do you mean, Lana?
like.
Yeah.
It's just lies.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dom. Ugh.
Oh, I was just gonna say he definitely was doing way too much. It was so phony, and him saying stuff. I've been so mad if I was Caleb because he was just like, "Oh, I'm not mad at you guys." I'm like, "You voted for me. Like, why would don't come back and tell me that you're not mad at me because
Exactly.
you didn't succeed at voting me out." And he just has a way about him. It went throughout the entire episode, even down to Tribal Council, where he just talks in such a way. It looks like he's putting on performance, like. Very much self-aware camera presence to me. Like it was, I was wondering if it was just like because we haven't seen him that much. So I was like, is it just because he's like reacting to being blindsided? So he's being extremely phony, and he's not good at being phony. So therefore, it comes across as so phony. But then he was doing it at Tribal Council. I was like, oh, I guess this is just his on-camera voice. So I don't know if it was just a bad reaction to Tribal Council, or if that's just how he was the entire time he was there. But it was really bad. Really bad job.
Mostly how he just is on camera. I think it's a little awkward to be on camera, and also because I think even the bits that we've seen of him before this, it was similar, at least to me.
I just think he was just I would have rather him been honest. Come back to camp and be honest. Y'all got me. I'm a little annoyed because I wasn't a part of it. Yeah, it was brilliant for y'all, but I am a little bit in my feelings right now because honestly, Sabaya was his one he wanted to ride with. So I'm like, if my person who I wanted to ride with home, I'll be pissed about it, and I will be able to express how pissed I am about it. Give me a minute, I'll be fine in the morning. But right now, guess what? I'm allowed to be a little upset about it, and I would have rather him be like, you know what? I get why y'all did what y'all did. I respect it, understand it. In the morning, I'll be all right. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna talk to y'all in the morning because, like, that whole "I'm not mad." What? No, that was too much.
Like, and you can say it was a good move and it was a good blindside because it was, at least for you.
Sure.
And like, I would be more annoyed with Emily than Caleb because you can't really be upset with Caleb for orchestrating a blindside to save himself in a game. I can get being a little bit more annoyed with Emily, but then it's also like, now you just like said, I didn't even want to vote for you. And it's like, well, then you wanted to vote for Emily, who was sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
Like, if you had just been quiet, like, you obviously know you're at the bottom now because you have those two people. Don't say stuff that's going to make it worse for you if there wasn't going to be a tribe swap.
Absolutely. I think you have to have, if you have an authentic human reaction, it will come across as, okay, you're someone who I can trust. When you're so phony about it, I'm like, well, I'm never going to trust anything that you say now.
Especially when you know there's somebody like Emily on your tribe who really does not like any of the phony shit. Like, you know, Emily's really just about like being like blunt. Like, I think Emily wouldn't have been upset if you were a little bit more annoyed and blunt about how you were feeling, because that's how Emily is.
Yeah, and that's how she reacted when she was coming back from tribal council too. So I feel like you can follow the blueprint. She was she was able to recover so well. So use that as the blueprint rather than playing a little bit too. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I got to watch a masterclass in Survivor.
Yeah, like, no, it was weird. It was weird, but yeah.
Jack, any thoughts?
That whole vote made me incredibly confused. I'm not gonna lie. And like, going back from, oh yeah, she had an idol and didn't use it and went home because she was betrayed by two different people. Now you're at the bottom. Don't say I voted you out, but I was gonna vote you out, because all it does is piss off both of them. You have one avenue left, and it is the other person. But of course, the other person, Emily.
I'm about to say, Emily knew she was. If the vote wasn't Caleb, it was her, and she was just happy to find out that the vote was not her. And that was dumb on Sabaya's part. I'm just sorry, I'm saying, because that was way too soon for Sabaya to turn against Caleb, because she had Caleb in her pocket. If she would have stuck with Caleb, she had him in her pocket.
And then if there wasn't a swap and they lost again, you and Sean can just...
You and Sean could have got Caleb out then. But that was so crazy for her to not go after Emily, who literally was the person who came for you the first week. Literally called you out.
Moving into this, if you happen to stay with Emily and you went to a swap with Emily on a tribe, Emily might just get people to take you out because you're a bigger threat than her. So why not try to go into a swap with two people that you can trust in case you end up on a tribe with one of them or both of them?
Well, they didn't know that a swap was
true.
That's the thing.
I mean, but even if you lost, you knew you had somebody else to have your back instead of
exactly
one person to have your back. You still had two people who were not going to vote for you. Sean and Caleb would have voted for each other before they voted for her. So
agreed.
That was just the wrong time to do that. And I know she probably sitting at home thinking like, dang, I shouldn't have did that when I did it. And she probably would still do it. But
she did also address, I don't know how many of y'all saw, she did address the whole Emily situation and like her feelings about it, you know, having experienced it and having watched it. And basically her thought process, for those people that haven't seen it, was like, she, in her words, paraphrasing her words, said that she didn't see it as racist. She just saw it as good gameplay. And so, great. I mean, I trust Sabaya's words.
Yeah,
she knows the situation better than we do. So
I I can see what she says that from being in that and in that
Mhm.
moment, it's still going to not change how people view it, perception, how we saw
And
it,
she
and how she
acknowledged
sees
that
it.
too.
And so I respect her, and I respect what, and I don't think that Emily is that way. I'm
No.
just gonna put that out there. I never
Mhm.
I don't
said
think
she
so
was,
either.
but
Mhm.
I always said I was gonna keep my eye open because you could see it when
Yeah.
it happened.
Mhm.
But if it's just game, I can see that. And that was purely game. Purely game. She felt that Sabaya and Caleb were a strong duo and they needed to be taken out of the game. Got it, get it, good. That's it.
Totally.
Do I respect Emily and her gameplay? Yes. Do I like Emily as a character? We still are. The jury is still out on that.
We're still, we're on the fence.
I'm feeling her out. I'm feeling her out still. But gameplay, she is killing it right now. And I have to give her flowers. The flowers are due.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So we go next day, day 8, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in. Everyone's so surprised that Sabai is gone. Oh my God, Sabai is gone? Yes. Oh my
I mean, visceral reactions. What?
And then Jeff had to talk about all the visceral reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Cool.
saying that Emily had
Couture.
Emily had perverse
pleasure in knowing.
pleasure.
Perverse
The
pleasure in
fuck?
knowing.
Did Jeff just take the SAT or some shit? Like, what the fuck?
Jeff was showing off his vocabulary skills. He wanted everybody to know that he knew how to properly put perverse in a conversation.
It wasn't proper.
It was very because she did have a perverse excitement about knowing and everybody not knowing what was going on, but the three of them standing there.
Mhm.
She took pleasure in that. It was like,
Sure.
So it was a little perverse pleasure in knowing. And we all have those perverse moments of pleasure when we look at things that we love to see people squirm, and it's like, oh, I know.
My thing is though, like, don't act shocked because you don't know what's happening on a tribe.
Yeah.
You don't know. You ain't there. You ain't gonna tribal. You don't know.
Like, I'll be like, oh, okay, she's gone.
I mean, you know what? I understand the reaction because Sabaya was somebody who they saw was the strong person in there on that team besides Caleb, who was like I think Couture said it. She was like the middleman, the peacemaker, the people, the glue that held everybody together, that motivated them to keep going and doing. And it was Sabaya. So for them, they were like, y'all voted out the person we assumed was running the camp. Exactly. And they were like, yeah, we voted out the person who actually was running the camp because she actually was running the camp.
And she ran herself out of the camp by accident.
She burned the camp down.
Burned it down.
At least
left.
Tried to.
With a knife.
She burned the candle down.
She burned the candle down.
Oh my goodness.
And then we get, for the first time in the new era of Survivor, a swap.
Yay.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure this was required the moment Lulu lost their third immunity in a row, because I'm pretty sure all of the rest of the immunity challenges were built for at least 4 players.
Yeah,
or at least the next couple. So
I must say, they didn't have a choice but to swap and even things out, because that decimation of Lulu was embarrassing, and it clearly ruined the whole composition of the game and how they were going to play it after this. Nobody thought one tribe was going to lose 3 people.
No.
Back to back to back.
Can you imagine the 3 of them trying to do this challenge?
Could you imagine? Oh my God. No, absolutely not.
Well, I mean, Caleb did do a lot of the heavy lifting, so
we'll talk about
But there were still other people to help him rather than just 2. There was 4.
And one of them being Emily.
Yeah.
And the other one being Sean.
In the nicest way possible. I feel like unless it was some other type of competition that wasn't obstacle puzzle or obstacle dexterity thing. Yeah, no, they were probably gonna lose.
Everyone.
Unless it was unless it was memory, they were probably gonna lose. But
I mean, the only way it was gonna happen if it was obstacle, and then maybe like the basketball hoop. Then they'll just let Kate shoot all the baskets, and it's like, okay, we can get through the obstacle quicker because it's just 3 of us. But then, of course, they'll make everybody else sit out like 4 people in there, 3 people in there each tribe.
Yeah. Yes, everyone sit out 4 people, so it's 3 original Lulu versus 2 on everybody else.
And also the issue with like if they like had lost, and then they went down to 2, then how is the swap going to work? How is sit-outs going to work? Because you can't have multiple people sitting out back-to-back challenges because you would have 4 and then 4.
We get a Matt Singh situation, and then they force the swap. So, but yes, we have 3 new tribes of 5 each. Who do we want to start talking about?
Reba. Okay.
Reba.
Because they were the closest to Jeff.
And you know what? They still have a single mom who works 2 jobs who loves her kids and never stops with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. Julie is a survivor. I'm very excited. She's still on Reba. That's all that matters to me. So yes, Reba, new Reba, looks very similar to old Reba. We have Sifu, J Maya, Julie, and Dee from the original Reba alongside Sean from Lulu. And they go back to camp, and Sean is automatically turning on that same sort of persona that we just saw from him, being his bubbly, effervescent, homosexual self.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sean. Who are you? We're great. You know, I got a great vibe from you the second I saw you. You are amazing.
This is what would have been
love
a little annoyed was if he's like from the moment I saw you, like, we didn't even have a conversation though.
I actually love you. I really, truly, honestly, fabulously love you. You are amazing. Julie girl, hey, I love you. You're amazing. Dee, oh my God,
your big toe.
Show me your toe. It's amazing. People, play
Come on, vocal.
Play it. You're so stinking talented. Oh my gosh. You guys, I feel so at home in this camp. I feel so at home here. I'm so glad I'm off of Lulu because, oh my God, I have tea. I have to tell you guys everything. It was so bad. I was at the bottom of the whole tribe. Oh my God. You guys, I love it here. I love it here so much. This is the best camp ever. I love you guys. Keep me. Thanks. Thank you. That was my Sean impression.
Lana, I don't need to be called out like this. I feel so called out right now.
So Logan, what you're saying is you're Sean.
No, because I was gonna say Lana in this Sean impression is me anytime I'm at the club with some random girl I met. It's like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God. Like, that's literally
the difference,
me.
though, is you're probably drunk.
Right.
Most likely.
Exactly.
The thing is,
This is just
and the thing is, the person you're talking to is also probably drunk. So it's not as annoying.
Drunker than I was.
So it's not as annoying when you're also sitting on in the middle of the fucking wood, and somebody's like, hi, you're my best friend, hi.
Exactly, but again, like the club is a perfect comparison to this because I know people are like this too, who it's like they come up to you and they're sweet talking you, and then they move on to the next person and they're giving the exact same spiel to them. Nobody ever likes to be. Like I get so offended. I'm like, I am a special person. You can't look at somebody else and say the exact same thing that you did to me, and that's exactly why I think that Sean. It's actually seemed to work. I mean, I guess it actually worked for him. To his credit, it did work.
Yeah.
I again did not like the tactic because you can see right through it. Like I feel like
Exactly.
he was very transparent.
Very.
The thing is,
I feel
so
like that, Dom.
I can
I'm
be
like,
similar in a way with this, especially when I'm a little tipsy. So, like, I think I'm giving him a little bit more leeway here, is because I
I'm
don't
not-
know
see,
I'm doing it.
this is my
Like,
thing. I don't
yeah.
care about you being tipsy. When you're tipsy, you don't know you're doing it. You be free. You can be as fake and phony as you want to be when you're tipsy.
Okay, let me go
This
get
is
my
Sean-
wine.
Stop. This is Sean in the jungle, fully sober, talking to. Because, okay, Esme, I come to you fully sober in a game, and I'm like, Esme, you're my ride or die, my best friend. We're the best. I love you. We're going to ride this thing out to the end. Then I go
and I
to
wouldn't
the
be
next
annoyed at
room.
that because I know you.
You would do that. You're like, and you would know I'm being truthful. But then I go to the next room and I go to Dom, and I'm like, Dom, you're my best friend. I love you. We're gonna be ride or dies. And you walk in the room and you hear me saying the exact same spiel I just gave you to Dom. Then I leave that room and go to Jack and tell Jack the same thing. And then I go to Logan. Like,
I was gonna say I feel
on.
so loved.
I'm
Wow.
gonna come to you last and tell you the same thing because that's what he did to seafood.
Wow.
That's what he did to seafood. Like he really told
So I'm
all the
seafood.
girls, you're seafood. He told all the
Great.
girls, yes, I love you. You're great. I want to be with you. We're gonna rock this thing. And then he went to seafood. I don't know. Those girls seem close. I think our vibe is great. We should rock this thing. Like I understand you're trying to get in the ends in the game. But you gotta have some kind of like. I don't want to hear the same thing you just told somebody else that you're telling me.
For me,
But it
I
worked
also-
for him though. I can't believe
Yeah,
it worked for him, but it worked
Yeah.
for him.
I think for me is I would also more likely be like that to one or two people, not everybody.
Right.
I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
like that to people who I don't vibe with, who I'm generally like, you're a little annoying. I can't actually pretend that I like you.
Yeah.
And you know who I actually think he did vibe with J Maya the most? And
I think
actually
so.
he
That seemed
really,
genuine.
truly,
Like,
That
truly
seemed
vibe with
100%.
J Maya.
like they like went off on the beach. They like seemed to bounce off of each other a little bit better. And this was
Yeah.
also segueing into J Maya.
Mm-hmm.
We got more J Maya content this episode.
Thank
Like, we actually got to see J Maya. More J Maya.
We actually saw what J Maya was talking about. She got a confessional.
And earlier, you guys had mentioned like, oh, we start like seeing more like things, and it's like we didn't really know that how well the girls were connected. We did not know that J Maya had really ever talked with Julie and Dee, and even were like connected that much at all. So it's nice to know that like she is, and that like seemingly it's the girls and are the most connected to each other on this tribe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we move over to the new Bello tribe.
We do.
Who is the new Bello tribe?
So Bello, it's the tribe where every tribe's got somebody there.
It's the most
diverse tribe ever.
And yet somehow the least diverse tribe ever. Because we have Emily, Austin, Drew, Kendra, and Brando. So we have Emily from the original Lulu, and then Austin and Drew from Reba, and Kendra and Brando from original Bello. We see that it's kind of like where Emily realizes she's kind of in the middle of these two duos, and she takes the approach of, I want to let these people actually get to know me. It does really seem like she learned so much from all of the situations that happened at Lulu 1.0, because she was really like, yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened. I've been at the bottom of the game the entire time. It was Sabaya's camp. We blindsided her. And even Drew, the first thing we hear Drew say about Emily is, I don't understand why she was being painted in such a negative way. She seems like such a regular, lovely girl. And that's Emily's gameplay. I was very impressed with Emily.
Oh, she ate that down.
She ate that down.
Like,
she ate. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Emily's ability to self-reflect is good. She's really able to self-reflect, take a step back, maybe like the next day, take a step back after that moment, and it's like, okay, let me reanalyze and adjust how I'm moving forward so that I can correctly place myself in a good position. And she's doing that really well in this new tribe. She obviously coming in, she's also in like a sort of a good position, being able to be this flip vote for these two duos coming from these other tribes, where they both are going to kind of want to fight for her attention. So she doesn't also need to be as bubbly and kind of fake as somebody like Sean, and that's also just not her. she's not gonna come in and be like, I love you. We were like, you're my bestie. But I think she has set herself up in, I think, a good way and has learned from the mistakes of her past in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, we hear a lot of talk about like the survivor journey that people go on, but I feel like it's so hollow to me a lot of times, because I feel like what people excel at in the game is what they knew that they excelled at in real life. But I see someone like Emily is actually going on a survivor journey of saying, maybe I do have to adjust some things in certain contexts, not to say that she couldn't succeed in other contexts, but in this context, she had to figure out how to be more social with people that she's not used to being around, and not just go so intense game mode and turn everybody off by being almost combative in the way that she approaches everybody. So I think that this is maybe a true survivor journey of seeing somebody unlock different parts of themselves and say, this is actually a strength of mine that I didn't know that I had, which is cool to see.
It is very cool to see. And she could take that back home when she leaves here and be like, now I can go into, because I don't know how she is in the real world. She might not be as combative in the real world. But if she finds herself in situations where she has to go, okay, let me stop. Let me think about what I'm saying before I go and actually just, jump at somebody. Maybe I need to think about it and be like, okay, yeah, this works. Yeah. I love that journey. I agree with you. I think the journey to knowing about how to self-reflect is very important. And she is doing it in such a way where she is readjusting and finding herself in the perfect spot. Like, out of everybody who got swapped, she got the best swap. She did not get swap screwed. She's literally landed right in the middle of two duos who are going to be fighting for power, and they're going to want her. And Austin was talking about it. Austin was like, they are going to fight for her vote. So he was like, we got to work. Me and Drew have to make sure that we put our, all our effort and time into making sure we get her. And they were sitting there talking and laughing like, oh, Emily, you're great. Amazing. Look how she cracks that coconut. It's so funny. It's so great. Like, you got to put the time in.
Screw you.
Like,
favorite moment of the episode. But yeah, it does seem like, at least from the edit we got this episode, that Emily's kind of leaning in the Austin Drew direction, which, with what we know, is probably the better way to go, because between them they have an idol and two advantages.
Yes.
So it's like, they were the ones that we saw in this episode, at least, kind of actively talking to Emily, bringing her in. She got very emotional. She was like, I finally feel like I have people that I can work with. I think you two are great. Things like that.
And the funny thing is that Caleb knows that Drew has at least one advantage. So he goes back into his camp with that information. And if something happens, that he does make merge, and Emily is already cool with it, Drew and Austin, that could be a foursome that could be insane crazy if a merge happens, because Emily, she's very much Team Caleb.
Or even the 5-person, if you consider original Reba, where it would be Austin, Drew, Dee, Mama Julie, and now Emily. I think that's a very strong alliance.
Yeah.
And if all of them can make it to merge, which I think there's a decent chance of all of that happening based on where they are in their respective tribes right now, I think there's a good shot we see that, and we see that alliance maybe brought in with Caleb as well, kind of dominating the early part of the merge.
Maybe.
Jack, any thoughts, my darling diva angel of the world? Jack,
every time we come to you, you always do this thing, and you go,
where my brain short circuits for a moment.
I know your brain.
Minute of conversation.
No, it's okay, honey.
I'm concerned for you.
What do you think about Bello?
I mean, honestly, it is the best kind of weird outcome that it could have had, where it's like, yeah, just throw the two like people from each tribe who are like, we'll see if we can do anything interesting with them, and then just give them Emily,
add the Emily factor to it.
just give them Emily. Give them a round. Get to know her.
Sure.
And then destroy them. I expect this camp to implode.
Ooh.
Emily is going to end up being the swing vote because I don't think it's going to go 4-1.
Oh no, it's gonna be 2-2-1 or 2-2, 3-3, either 3-2 or it's gonna be 3-2. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
2-1-1-1. Chaos. I want 2-1-1-1.
2-1-1-1.
I like that.
That'd be interesting to see. But then the 2 goes home. So
true, that's why I want it. 'Cause I'm like, ooh, chaos. I love it.
What about a 1-1-1-1-1? Everybody just votes.
Everyone votes for a different person. Oh my god. Okay, who are we voting for here? I'm voting for Lana.
What about Logan?
No, that's not how this works.
Well, it can.
Well, actually, no, it could. No, it could, actually.
It can.
And then Jack, I vote you. Jack votes Domenick. Domenick votes me.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
1-1-1-1-1.
We go to rocks. AKA a wheel.
Just immediately to rocks.
No, we can't immediately because then the revote happens and then I'm just like.
But none of us can vote.
No, but none of us can vote because we're all in the vote.
Oh, we all are part of the vote. Oh, well, we're going to the wheel, and then if it's a wheel, I'm out.
It's racist, so.
I'm out.
Looks up Lana. Well,
Julia.
I'm like, here, Jeff. Snuff my torch.
Right.
I'm out.
I feel like that would be. I feel
like.
And then I go out in a way as iconic as Sari did. Absolutely. It's the only way I would want to be eliminated from Survivor, after all. Let's move to our new Lulu. Not as much of a Lulu disaster anymore. But we get 4 original Bello members in Bruce, Jake, Katurah, and Kelly going over to Lulu to join Caleb, who's still there.
Yeah. Lana, my wheel wasn't racist. It didn't take either of us out.
Lovely.
It was me, wasn't it?
No.
Oh,
It was
wow.
me.
That's surprising.
No.
Oh, all right.
No, not Dom.
Last
No.
one
Ratings are going to go
in.
down.
The last one in.
Oh.
Last one out.
Oh my
No.
God, just feed my ego more.
Look, I can't say that I'm sad, Dom, because
I can't say that either.
because usually it's me. It's always me.
That is fair. As long as you're just happy that's not yourself, I will not be offended.
It was in between. So the wheel couldn't decide because me and you were on either side of Domenick.
Oh, that'll do it.
It couldn't decide what to go for which one of us. So
And you know where it was not even close to? Me and Jack. Period.
Yep.
Period.
Mhm.
Period.
Wait,
But yes.
Domenick, are you're Greek or Italian? What are you?
I'm Italian,
Yep,
a little bit German. Yeah.
There it is. There it is. He's Italian. They couldn't decide between me and Esme, so they went for the Italian. Period. Yep. I'm just saying, y'all know how this wheel is. You know how the wheel is.
Oh
it
my
couldn't
God.
decide between me and Esme because usually it's me or Esme, and they were like, "Well, we'll go for the Italian man, not the 2 white men."
Anyway, let's talk about how Bruce started crying when they walked into Lulu. This was so emotional though, because I was like, instantaneously he started crying, and I was like, oh no.
I was
because they just used the same. And then I think it was Kendra, and she was like, "This was Tika, wasn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Bruce, no, Bruce." And then he got over it quickly. He was like, "Hey, Uncle Bruce."
Yeah.
Couture
You know
was
what?
like, "Oh,
Good
I'm
for
sad
him.
for him for a second, and now he's back." Oh
my god! The fact that the crossfade of the episode went to Katurah this episode, I was like, no, because she's just in confessional complaining about Bruce. And I'm just like, no.
I mean, Couture said we got our very first non-verbal confessional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They said Bruce. Couture was like, And that said everything. You knew it. You knew what she said.
Yeah.
You knew what she meant when she did it. She just was like,
But I love that the universe swapped all of our remaining Black contestants on the same tribe, and I want them to work together, but that's not happening.
and Couture hates
No.
Bruce. And I was like, well,
You know
Well,
what? If they never go to tribal, that's never a problem.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. The Lulu redemption story, they don't go to tribal in the second half
They
of
don't
the
go to
pre-merge.
tribal in the second half, and then every immunity challenge is a double win, and it's Couture and Bruce winning every immunity challenge.
Could you imagine?
Couture and Bruce just
Or
always
it's
winning.
or it's 1-1, but they both keep finding idols. So one of them has individual immunity and the other one has an idol, and they just stay. It goes back and forth.
And then they decide the season's a final two, and it's them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll take you to the final two. It's been the season long arc.
Right.
You know what? After a while, if they make it to merge together and they get farther down, I would look at them and be like, look, we've been fighting this whole time. Nobody would ever suspect that I want you to stay here with me. You take me to final two, I take you to final two. Nobody will guess it. And we'll just see who got many more friends in the jury. Like,
Right.
literally.
I wouldn't be mad about like them forming a final three with something.
Yeah. This is where I think this is the most interesting tribe dynamic for me personally, because you have 4 Bello, so that's obvious, but it's kind of the 4 Bello that none of them were really actively working together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Kelly and Couture were to an extent, but that I think was really held together by Kendra. And now that Kendra is swapped onto a different tribe, we see Jake and Caleb having conversations. We see Couture noticing that Bruce, Jake, and Kelly are all together. And so she goes to Caleb and it's just like, here's the whole situation. Here's everything you need to know. And Bruce is like, I don't think I've ever had a more concise but informative conversation on this show. Mm-hmm. And it really felt like a huge wake up thing for Caleb as well, where he's like, oh, okay, this is where I'm at in the game. I'm not at the bottom, where Sean kind of is, kind of isn't, and where Emily is right in the middle. I would say Caleb's falling between those two. It's like they could still end up deciding to be Bello strong and just vote out Caleb very easily, or they could all try to bring in Caleb in their own different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they go to tribal,
and
and Caleb was like, I want to go home.
Could you imagine if there were 3 quits from Lulu? And
my
could you imagine if the last original Lulu left is Emily? That would be kind of iconic, honestly. Yeah. I could see it.
I think Caleb is someone who will probably get recognized as a threat, and I would say that their best move would be to just get rid of him right now because his story is already forming. I don't think you let someone like that slide through, especially because it's like, Couture and Bruce already have their little feud going on. Like, Jake and Kelly, I think, are threats, though. So, I mean, like, they have some people that maybe it's worth taking out on their own. But I think whenever you let that person slide through, like, you're just giving them such a better chance of winning. And I would say, honestly, they should just bury the hatchet amongst themselves and get rid of Caleb because he's a huge threat.
That's kind of what J. Maya is trying to do on Reba as well with Sifu. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that tribe's all over the place. But let's go to immunity. Woo, immunity. A good old obstacle dexterity challenge, in the words of Jack.
Well, I mean, I guess this one wasn't really obstacle as much as it was obstacle, good luck to your shoulders, dexterity.
This was more just cage.
Yeah. But I like that. Like, I'm so glad for once MU challenge did not end in a puzzle. Like, let's at least vary it up a bit. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, so you have to carry your cage out of the water, land it on the specific little place that you had to do it, and then throw 3 balls into nets of increasing height. They all kept it pretty close together for the most part until they really got to the full beach section where Lulu
Booked it.
for once, doing well in a challenge. And I was like, oh my God, Lulu.
Come on, Lulu.
Come on,
They're not
Lulu.
cursed.
You're not cursed.
Anymore. Not anymore.
cursed.
Well, we know who the curse is. It's Sean. He even said it himself. He said
Why would you verbalize that?
Well, I agree with you, but yeah. So Lulu gets there first. Bello gets their second. Reba gets their third. They're doing their things.
They have to then set the cage down, dig enough space for one of them to slither under, and then they have to untie ropes and release the ball. They throw it into the cage for one of them to basically shoot into like a netted basketball hoop.
Yeah. Yup. I think ultimately what may have been the downfall of, spoiler, Reba, was that I think it was the wrong choice to have Julie be the rebounder, where Bello made the right decision to have Brando do it. I think, honestly, Reba should have had J. Maya do it.
I think J. Maya or D would have been better.
Or D. I think either one of them would have been better.
Because
potentially Julie's better at knots, so that might be the reason why they made the decision that they did, but who knows?
I thought it was entertaining when she kept about not getting it into the cage, though. So, for my own personal enjoyment, because I don't care that much about challenges, I was like, that was something I actually enjoyed watching, that challenge.
Right.
So, thank you, Julie.
Right. But for the first time on this season of Survivor, Lulu wins an immunity challenge, and also Bello.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be honest. When Emily started just absolutely bawling after winning, I was like, "Oh, girl, yeah, I'm happy for you."
I understand it. Like you were at risk of going home pretty much every day in that game, and this is the first time you also get to have fire tonight. You get to
you don't have to scramble. And especially someone that's been in the position that she's been in, it's
like she can finally let out a sigh of relief for the first time in this game.
One could say she might maybe potentially let loose.
I wasn't gonna say that, but sure.
I gotta go.
I think she does. Period.
I'm just happy that she's safe. She gets one night of safety.
Yeah.
She gets to be safe, and then Caleb also gets to be safe, and he gets fired for the first time in day 9. Like, who has to wait 9 days to have fire? Caleb had to wait 9 whole days to have fire. So.
Because even the other two got fire for a split second.
Right, when they got back to their camp, they were able to see fire being made. Caleb did not see fire until they got back from winning a challenge for the first time in day 9. So that's amazing. I was happy for both of them. I felt bad for Sean because in that moment I felt bad for Sean. I'll say that because it's like, dang, I go from a losing tribe to another losing tribe. Like I can't win for losing. This sucks. So I felt I was very happy for Caleb. I'm very happy for Emily. And yeah, that was a moment. I was like, oh yay, they did it. We did it, Joe. We did it. Logan, your microphone is not back on.
My microphone was still muted. Thank you. So yes, we get back to Reba, and the overall vibe is Reba strong. However, J. Maya is still pressing Julie and D that they should take out Sifu. But Julie is the voice of reason here, as I thought she would be when we saw this group specifically in a pressure situation. She's kind of being the voice of reason being like, well, if we just keep losing, That's not good. We presumably have one more, maybe two more votes after this before merge. Who knows? And Sifu is going to provide strength. And that's no shade to Sean, but like Sean's not going to provide the strength in the way that Sifu is.
I mean, because she was like, if we didn't have Sifu in this challenge, we would still be in the water right now. And I'm like,
I love Julie's confessionals.
I was like, that is so true, because they were not strong enough to lift that cage up. First of all, even to the beach. And once they got on the beach, if it wasn't for Sifu, they wouldn't have it. So I'm like, I understand J. Maya wanting to get Sifu out. Like, I don't trust him. He makes it to merge, blah, blah, blah. But we can't keep losing. And if we don't have any strength on our team, we're going to lose every single week. And then it's going to come right back to us deciding who we're picking off of each other at this point.
And
so,
like, I understand where J. Maya's coming from a little bit, because she's really worried about him having an idol. The paranoia of this non-existent idol is terrifying her. I mean, but like for Dee and Julie, they know that the idol is no longer on their island. So Julie's less worried about that.
Well, and they're also less worried because we forgot to mention earlier, they literally went through Sean's bag
and tied it exactly the same
way. The way they did it was so seamless, though. I was really impressed with this group of ladies. They were just like, we're gonna echo it on our bag, and we're gonna make sure of it, and we're gonna put everything back where it was. And I was like, this is great.
And it's interesting the way that Julie's kind of in the best position on this tribe now. At least in my mind, especially after what happens tonight. Like, nobody was really looking at Julie, despite Julie not even doing great in this challenge. Nobody was like, want Julie out. And I'm glad, because I have Julie in my draft, so I'm team Julie.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the draft later, because
I do wonder
Go ahead, Dom. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I do wonder if part of what made Jay want to get rid of Sifu is that she didn't have a bond with him, and she knows that Julie and Dee are super close, and she's not as close to them as they are to each other. That if you go down to 4, she is kind of at their mercy, because she's not going to be working with Sifu. But now, if she could have kept Sean, she would have had someone that could maybe be tightest with her to combat them. On the other hand, that they're going to say, okay, like, let's just get rid of Sean, because, you know, he's an outsider still, and they kind of have something with Jay.
Right. I mean, it made sense for her game.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for the tribe.
It made sense for hers. It did not make sense for the other 2 girls, in my opinion.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Agreed.
Jack.
Look. I'm here for J. Maya finally being able to do something.
Yay! I
got more than 2 confessionals.
and more than 2 confessionals. Finally, right? This was not the thing she needed to do. And it was very, very interesting to watch her pull this off. And it looked pretty good too. Like, it genuinely just worked. It looked like it was gonna work.
Yeah, because we go into tribal thinking that Sifu's going home. I was like, oh, Sifu. Oh. And they told Sean, the ladies told Sean, oh, we're gonna fake like we're Reba Strong, whatever. The whole first part of the tribal, I was like, this is all boring. This is all, none of this matters. And then, seemingly out of nowhere, Sean, before the vote, is just like, can I just be honest? And proceeds to tell his whole life story. And he's like, I lost so many years of being who I was. And I realized that the real adventure is at home. So... And I'm like, okay, cool, love it. I'm so happy that like you're getting an adventure out of Survivor. You want to go home?
Yeah.
And the thing was, like, J. Maya's plan would have worked if he didn't say that.
Yeah.
I thought this was a gigantically brained move of like, Sean had already talked about like what happened at his previous tribals, and he was trying to pull off the same thing.
Could you imagine?
It was swapped, and Sifu was going to get blindfolded, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
This is going to be so iconic. Oh my god, I can't wait to see this. Oh, you want to leave?
But then I was like, but maybe he doesn't want to leave, and he's doing this all for the meme, for the gram, for the Vine, for the iconicness of it all, and everybody knows it. Like he told the girls this, but we didn't see it.
That would have been great.
That would have been
that's what I thought it was.
That's
what I would have done because I'm a little
too.
sneaky
like,
villain.
He told the girls something before tribal. We didn't see it, and he was like, "I'm gonna talk about how I'm ready to just leave, and then you all vote Sifu out anyway, and that'll make this tribal iconic." Which it would have. We would have been like, "Oh man!"
We would have been like, "Oh my god!"
But then he plot twist. He was like, "No, I truly and honestly want to go home." And I was like,
and for the second time this season, Jeff had to make the fuck you saying to me?
Right.
Yeah.
He was like, "Are you serious? I just want to make sure you know what you're saying before you saying it, right? I want to clarify what you mean."
No, because if I was Jeff, I would have been like, okay.
Bye.
Again?
Yeah.
Right.
You voted out two people who would have killed to be in your spot. Well, you didn't vote one of them out. You only voted one of them out, not the other one.
If you voted another person out who would have killed to have the spot.
Exactly, because I know damn well Brandon and Sabaya would have loved to have the opportunity to be at the bottom of a swapped tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved for this to just been a whole theatrical act.
Yeah.
And
you had the theatrics down. It was theatrical. It was not an act.
If they were trying to gag Jeff, that would have been great.
I would have loved that. I would be like,
and then Sifu got voted out, and they were all like,
like I would have been like, that was so iconic, ladies. Y'all killed.
And I would have been like, oh my god, the girls in the gays tribe, yeah.
Right. I would have like, girls in the gays, slave, period.
All four of them would have bumped up to the top of my ranking.
Right.
I would have like, I stand iconic. They're legends, queens, kings, everybody, all of you, all the things. You are the moment. You are the icon, the legend. You are the moment. Come on now. I would have been there. In this podcast, I would have been praising that move with all of my heart and soul. But now we don't get that moment.
No.
We get the honest and truly, I want to go home. For the second time in Survivor this season alone, 2 people.
4 episodes in.
To go with 4. We're only episode 4.
50% of these people have asked to leave the game so far.
Asked to leave the game. I'm like, why do we sit through 90 minutes?
We broke Jack.
Why do we sit through 90 minutes of a show just to watch you ask to go home?
In the same way,
it messes up the game of the other players too. That's the thing. Like that's the thing that's frustrating me, because to me it's like, if you want to leave, you should absolutely have the right to leave. It's your adventure. You make what you want of it. The problem is that it messes up the game for the other people, because you're all, and now especially you have such limited chances to advance your game, to have it kind of taken away from you because someone's like, I'm just gonna leave and whatever. You know, like, people have games to play, and you're messing that up when you go out there with. To me, I think it comes across as some people who just want to be on the show Survivor and say that they did it, have no care about actually playing the game, don't want the experience, just want to say I was on Survivor, and that they were happy the moment they hit the beach and they were like, I'm good now.
Right.
I do want to say one thing, and I think this could have accidentally caused this whole situation. It is Jeff asking Sean, if this is it, what has this whole experience meant to you?
Oh, 100%.
Because that question alone is an inadvertent signal to say, yeah, so actually you're going home and we all know it. even though that wasn't the case. And I mean, that was almost inadvertently support from production to blindside Sifu, but he accidentally took it as the real thing. In which case, Jeff just shouldn't have said it. But we also don't know if he was going to quit before that point.
He's an executive
he claims.
producer. Yeah, go ahead.
I know. Sean said he claims that question is what triggered him to realize they wanted to quit. And it seems like maybe it was partially from like an ego thing of like, you can't fire me, I quit, which is so stupid in and of itself. And I can't get behind him no matter how he tries to spin it, because I'm just like, even if you were saying that you were trying to, as like a defense mechanism, you claim that you're a super fan of the show. How do you think quitters are treated? Like, of all the ways to go out, that is the worst way to get like any respect from the fan base. I don't think anybody should send him hate. But I would be proud of my performance if I ended up quitting the game. And he even was on Twitter like hyping up this episode. I'm like,
right?
What?
Oh my god! When he did that, I was like, you are telling folks you can't miss this episode. You have to.
Yeah, because it's the last one I'm in.
I was like, watch you quit. You're hyping it up for us to watch you quit. Absolutely not.
And even then, the vote wasn't unanimous.
Oh my
Because
god!
of course it wasn't.
So it's a 3-1. Sean does get voted out, technically quit, but we see Sean vote for D, and we see D still go through with her plan of voting out Sifu.
As she should have. I mean, if you have somebody saying that they want to go home, that's like taking out two people at once.
Okay,
like,
cool. Let's vote out Sifu, and then when we get back to the camp, you can walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm doing.
And then we're back to a tie of 3.
What I'm doing is I'm voting with D. The vote ties. Me and D still vote. It's 2-1. Sifu's gone. Sorry.
It's just.
My thing is, I'm like, yes, D, do what you want to do. But I'm pissed off at J. Maya because this was your plan to begin with, and you left her hanging. Like, you just left her out there. I don't care if Sean said he wanted to go. I'm not voting out nobody who said they want to go. That's not how if you want to quit, you quit on your own half.
Unless you're doing it like the Hannah way, where they don't even go up and write.
Right, they didn't even go up to vote. She was like, "I'm ready to go." And everyone was like,
"Yeah."
Mm-hmm. And that's something that sometimes it seems like that set the tone of the season. I guess Sean, who was at that first travel council, was like, "What an iconic exit Hannah had." Maybe he thought like it was noble, or like he thought it would come across differently than it did. But I definitely think that had an influence on the game. So that's why I tweeted out last night. Hannah changed the game. She changed the game.
Season 2.
Hannah for Game Changers too. And on top of that, he's such a big super fan, he doesn't realize that they stay at Ponderosa until pre-merge, and then they fly them all home at the same time.
I'm like, you're not going home to your husband.
He's not going home today.
Oh my god. Sabaya's gonna be like, what happened? Oh, I quit.
Oh, Brandon and Sabaya should have been angry.
Livid.
And I don't think they were, because they're both beautiful, lovely, wonderful people.
But I would have started swimming back to the island from Ponderosa.
Genuinely, I would have been like, I need to talk to Jeff right now. Are we swapping?
Can we
do a battle back, but it's only with people who are actually voted out?
Right, who actually wanted to play the game? Could we do a battle back?
Can we do a 2-person battle back?
Well, we know who would win that battle back, regardless of the competition. And you know what?
Bye, I'll be back.
It's Brandon.
No.
When it's falling off a boat challenge, Brandon.
Stop it.
When it's who can hang on to the ladder the longest.
Brandon got it.
Brandon got it.
On lock. Who can lose the
when who can list all the second boots of Survivor faster?
Brandon killed.
And then he gets to say himself.
That's so funny.
I do love that.
The one thing I'm still confused about with this episode is, I mean, Julie, when she was voting, said I just got whispered that the name is still Sifu.
Mm-hmm.
From who?
D said it.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it. She
Oh,
was
duh. My
like, mhm.
Your brain is not functioning at full capacity right now, darling. I understand. You're fine.
maybe 20%.
I
I'm
understand.
doing great here. But
You're
yeah,
doing
no,
great.
That's gonna be so relevant.
You're very pretty, Jack. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
Look at this new haircut. Oh yeah.
It looks good.
Just buy that cup mug. Oh my god.
Yes,
Yay.
period. And that
Right.
takes us into the outro because
Yeah.
it's time for the
We're
outro.
done. We're done.
As far as no,
draft
but before we
update.
do the outro, thank you, Lana, for spoiling me on this episode of Survivor. Thank you so much.
I told you I wasn't.
But
I just
you
asked
did.
But I
So
didn't.
I saw Lana last night, and she asked me, without knowing that I hadn't watched Survivor yet,
I did not
really.
know that. I didn't know.
She goes, "Who had Sean in the draft?" And I was like, "No one had Sean in the draft, Lana. Why do you ask?"
I was like, just wondering.
No, because Sean found 2 immunity idols.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure his points added up.
Mhm.
Well,
I realized it once I said it. I was like, oh, he has not drafted. And I was
but yeah,
like,
he went undrafted, so it's probably for the best.
But speaking of Sean, the tribe has spoken.
oh.
That's really cute, actually.
Oh.
Wait, I kind of love that.
It's
We need to get you a bigger candle.
It's a little tea candle, but it's
We
okay.
need to get you a bigger candle from this.
Because it's completely melted. Because it's been going for an hour.
No.
It's just wax.
I did say cup candles, Lana.
You did. I said I'm working on it. Relax.
I appreciate you working on it. This is not me harping on it.
I was like,
but
don't
yes.
draft me, but draft updates.
The draft is the same.
Oh,
Sean went undrafted, so
I
the draft
actually
is
don't know the draft standings. I don't remember them.
Brooke has lost a person.
Robin
David has lost a person, and Robin, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that David had Brandon and Robin had Sabaya.
Yeah. No, David had Sabaya. Robin had Brandon.
Stole
Was it
Sabaya
the
from
other-
you.
Oh wait, yeah, it was the other way
Yeah.
around.
Because I was
Yeah.
very upset with David.
And I
because he
still
stole
have my
Sabaya.
Canadian and my good swimmer, so I'm okay with it.
I still have my Golden Girls.
I have
yeah.
Katura and
Someone. I don't have it in
Someone.
front of
Who I
me.
have.
it's okay. It's Katura and somebody else. I think it's another woman. It's another woman. I know that.
Is it Kendra?
No, I didn't have Kendra.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for our episode 4 recap for Survivor 45. We will be back same time, same place, different week, different panel to talk about episode 5. In the meantime, we are here giving y'all content on the Cup TV every single day of the week.
Every day.
We're live usually 5 times a week, not this week. And we have episodes going up periodically throughout the week. So we're here. If you made it through an hour and 8 minutes of this episode and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You should be subscribing.
Hit that button.
And we appreciate all of the subscriptions, the likes, the shares. So thank you all for that. If you want to follow more of us, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cut Pod. You can also follow all 5 of us on our various platforms. Twitters are down below. Domenick's Instagram has been on screen the whole time. Lana's Instagram is on screen the whole time. And while you're down in the description following all of us, because you know you want to, you could go get some Cup merch, including but not limited to Cup mug. Link in the description below. And with all that being said, lovely, wonderful humans.
Here, Dom, hold that for me, would you?
Cheers.
I got to match a little logo in the back.
I saw that. I was like, you were trying to do that the whole time. I was like, oh, how adorable. Goodbye.
Whatever.